Hi guys, so today I finished the second day of the rally driving school at the firm in Starkville, Florida. Man, I'm much happier. I'm leaving there much happier. I had a lot of fun today. Today was a real day of fun driving the all-wheel drive car. I drove a Subaru RS. It's a normally aspirated all-wheel drive car. Lots of fun, lots of fun. How was the day today? So we spent some time in the classroom talk about the dynamic differences between a front-wheel drive car and an all-wheel drive car. Basically, things happen faster. You had to be a little more on top of the car. Some of the mistakes you do on a front-wheel drive car can be really tragic on a all-wheel drive car. So have really careful where you're pointing the car. And the car also has some low corners. It has some traction toward to the back, which helps coming around pendulum corners and some hand-braking corners, which I quite like that part. So after that, we went to skid pad. We tried to do some of the hand-braking and pendulum corners, which I did much better. I was happy with the initial effort. Then we did a sandy stage, which was mostly okay, but I was struggling some tight corners, bogging the car down. And mostly all the other corners are okay, but some of the corners I wasn't rotating so well. But overall was good. Then we did a rally stage, like a tree-line road. It's interesting. You look at the trees, the top of the tree line, to get the angle of the corners. So it was really interesting. We couldn't go too fast there because it's really narrow. A lot of bumps, so it takes a lot of stability of the car. So it wasn't like totally flat out in that. But it was good. Then had lunch break, and then all afternoon we did what I call the practice stage, which has a couple straights when you get up to maybe 75, 80. I don't know, I think last time I checked was like 70, 75, one of those straights. Third gear, maybe get to fourth gear. Then you have like a couple of tight S's, a couple bus stops, a couple sweeping corners, several hairpins and handbrake corners. And then I was doing everything much better. By the end of the day, I was able to actually correct the car. When something was sliding too much, if I would do hand braking, if you do lead foot braking, because the lead foot braking helps the car to rotate. If you apply first some weight transfer and then you use the brake, it helps the car rotate. So also a lot of lead foot braking in the corners. So I work a lot on the smoothing of transitions of the clutch and controlling the car with the clutch application, acceleration. So the last couple runs I was happy, very happy. I could, especially in the S's, really like put a nice spin and wrap around two corners nicely. Beautiful. I was super happy, like proper WRC kind of turns. Some of the happiness I could do, like tractioning and going around it. It missed consistency. I need more practice to get a lot of consistency on that. But I was super happy with the driving, the car control. I could control exactly how much gas or corrections I should make. So I was on top of the car and could correct the car most of the time. There was like 2 or 3 times that I went to the bush in a very slow corner on doing pendulum or coming too fast. There was a point that I was starting to get too comfortable, and the instructor said that be careful, start going too comfortable with this car. It's gonna bite you in the ass, and it was that sad. I just started going too fast, and you really have to remind yourself that slow entry, fast out. That's true. And loose surfaces. There's a couple times very slow, over the bushes saying, but overall was really good. One comparison between the road track and the dirt. I mean, you're the intensity, even though you drive at much lower speeds on the rally stage, your mind is thinking so much quicker. It's so much more intense, even though the speeds are really slower. Especially the cornering speed is so much slower. But the decisions that you have to make and how often you have to make, I mean, it's so much more intense. You get mentally tired driving a rally stage at slow speed. And I was doing well over 100 miles an hour on the road track, but you know, the top speed was 75 on the straight that I had there, and I was shitting in my pants. I mean, being, you know, in a tree line at that speed and having to, you know, brake, and the car starting, you know, getting a bit floating and loose, and then you have to brake super careful, you have to shift down super careful. I was way more scared in doing the rally stage in that straight at a much lower speed. I was actually having to force myself to keep the foot down the straight all the way until the point that the instructor said, yeah, take it off, stop braking, etc. So that was very, very, very scary. I had to convince myself to do it. So I have in the toolbox you are forced to use, because it doesn't matter. It's almost impossible to be consistent like you do in a road track, because it's changing. You go one time, you make a groove, it is soft in some places, other not. Very complicated. You have to be almost improvising all the time, and you have to be like in a road car. You have to be 2 steps ahead, but even more so. And even though you're 2-3 steps ahead, you still need to know how to improvise widely with all the tools you have in the back. Hand braking, left foot braking, release throttle, on throttle, bringing the car back with more acceleration, pointing where you point the car. I mean, it's very intense. It's very intense, and it's a very beautiful mix of, you know, art, the flexibility, and controlling the car. And it still is the same thing as on the track. You still need to be smooth. It's not about sliding. You use sliding, etc., to rotate the car, but it can rotate too much, can slide too much, otherwise you lose time. Much like in track, you have to be smooth, but you know, in order to put the car smoothly and faster, it's much more complicated than the road on a track. Much more complicated. So I have a lot of respect for the guys that race WRC, because doing the speeds they're doing, it's amazing. Those guys do like 150 or so on that. So I really, really recommend that you guys try the firm. The facilities are great, the structures are great, the cars work well. They have plenty of cars there, different cars. Or any rally driving school. You should try it. If you only did track in your life, it's gonna expand your toolbox, your experience. You know, you're gonna have a more varied experience. You're gonna become a faster driver on the track, safer driver in you know, difficult conditions. It's just, you become a much better driver for sure. It's much more intense and it's fun. I just wish I had somewhere close to home so I can go and practice. I'll definitely get a cheap Subaru, normally aspirator, because you know, turbo would be too much, to be honest. You don't need that, because I have to put traction down. If you have long straights, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. It's about skills, being smooth, good suspension, good tires. That'll make the most difference. So try. You're gonna have the experience of a lifetime. Ciao.